So, history has shown that nobody can invade Russia in the winter. Unless you are, wait for it,
the Mongols!
Hi, I'm Madeline Swift.
And I'm Victoria Torres, and today on Crash Course we'll be talking about the Mongol conquest of Russia and the long-term effects it has had on political organization, demographics, and art.
So, the Mongols entered the Caucasus in around 1219, making their way to the Russian steppe until the actual invasion of Russia and conquering of people that began in 1222, led by the generals Zhib and Subata. The initial invasion was only sort of successful because they didn't complete entire Russian domination, but they did conquer some peoples.
Caucasus Alliance joined together to fight against the Mongols, excluding the Plovsky. The Plovsky were originally fighting against the Mongols, and then the Mongols convinced them not to on a basis of Turkic-Mongol fellowship. So they did that. The Plovsky were neutral for a while, until the Mongols decided that they were not feeling it anymore and they were going to turn on the Plovsky. So they took all of their fortune and they defeated the alliance, and they just kind of left the Plovsky there. So the Plovsky weren't very happy about it, and they went and
Also, they killed some of the Plovsky, which wasn't
true.
True.
So Plovsky were pretty upset. They were not happy, and they went to pair up with the Russian princes.
Or the Kievan princes. So, 1822, the Mongols are like, chill, it's fine. You know what, we kind of need some peace. We just want to chill here. There's some good resources. It's fine. So they sent some envoys to talk to the Russian princes, and because the Russian princes are so smart, they decide to kill the Mongolian envoys. Now, in their defense, they'd never heard of the Mongols, so they couldn't possibly know that they are the best military power in the world at that time, and possibly in all of time. But still, you don't treat. They wanted peace and you killed them. What is wrong with you? And your empire is falling apart? They were dying off and they decided to turn away help? Russian logic. Explain it.
So then, of course, the Mongols got really upset with the princes because you killed our envoys, our important diplomat people. So then they declared war. Now, the Russian princes were actually doing pretty good in this war. They were doing okay until Prince
We're gonna look that up. It's Russian. We don't speak Russian.
I wish I spoke Russian.
That'd be so cool. It doesn't even let us hear it. Okay, we're gonna go with Mstislav. Mstislav.
Okay, so then Prince Mstislav decides that he's gonna try and take on the entire Mongol force by himself. Well, with his tiny company of men.
When there's actually 5 princes and their companies of men trying to kill the Mongols at the same time.
But he thinks that he's gonna go by himself and it's gonna be great and he's gonna succeed because he's just that awesome. He's not that awesome. He dies. Well, he gets captured, and then his army gets cornered, and the Mongols kind of start assaulting everybody in Russia, and they're
on a frozen lake. They're like, go kill them, and the Mongols are like, yeah! And they went and killed them. So, after this, there was a second invasion, which was actually more effective in 1237, where the huge city of Ryazan, don't know, was captured, raided, torn apart, and all of the women systematically raped.
I don't know.
They have systems for everything in Mongol culture, apparently. And everyone was then massacred. So, yeah, and then they also tried to conquer Novgorod. They failed. It was 1238, and Batu Khan was leaving. He was like, yes, defeat them. But the winter kind of went away because of spring, and so the ground got soft because of the melted snow, and they had to retreat because of melted snow. But the second invasion in general was led by Subata, one of the earlier generals from the first invasion, who established the Golden Horde militarily, which by 1942 would be controlling all of Russia under the guidance of Batu Khan.
Okay, so then time for the open letter.
Ooh!
first, let's see what's in the secret compartment.
For what? I think it's an open letter to the Russian winter. What is in the secret compartment?
It's a snow globe to signify winter.
Wow, because Russian winter is sparkly
And pretty.
and hardcore.
I guess it's hard. That's funny.
That's great. So,
An open letter to the Russian winter. Dear Russian winter, you're pretty friggin' badass. Which is not cursing if you're talking about that really bad donkey that I'm pretty sure somebody somewhere owns.
anyway, Russian winter, you managed to stump great civilizations and people. You defeated Napoleon. You defeated Alexander the Great, for crying out loud. Even when it's not winter, your aftermath still defeated what is very possibly the greatest army that existed in all of time, aka the Mongols. So, like,
You're pretty friggin' awesome.
yeah. Love battling.
And Victoria, and me. Yeah. Mongol will have many effects on Russian culture and political organization. Most primarily around the time 1930 to 1933, when the Mongols will bring in any program of Turkification. And that's going to lead the Russians to try to find a new sense of national identity, and they find that through the Orthodox Church. So fragmentation within like the Kievan political system, as well as the exemption, like the Orthodox Church was exempted from Mongol rule through this legal process they called Yarlik. Through this legal process they called a Yarlik. And those two things are going to lead to kind of the rise of the Orthodox Church.
Mongol conquest will also bring about the beginning of monasticism in Russia, which is being monks, and a revival of religious art, including an increase in iconography and frescoes during the second half of Mongol rule, kind of like the Renaissance, except it's religious art and it's in Russia. Yeah. And this all happens even though it's supporting their artists. Again, Russian logic.
So politically, the Mongol rule is going to end democracy in Russia, and it's also going to end what they call the Vecha system, which is like a town assembly kind of, and you have all the free male citizens of that town or that city come together and they discuss political and legal issues, and that's going to come to an end with the Mongols, and it's going to be replaced by the Basaki, which is kind of like a viceroy or kind of a military leader. So this traditional like political system and the traditional mercantilist economy is going to sort of disintegrate with the Mongols. Mongol rule is also going to bring about, it's going to kind of isolate Russia from the like cultural flourishing that's going on in the Byzantine Empire. And it's also going to scatter the population of Russia. And today you can still see influences of Turkic languages and like specific words that they borrowed from the Turkic language in Russian today. So that kind of shows, the true expanse and power and legacy that the Mongols have left behind to this day.
So, the moral of the story is, the inevitability of life is that unexpected things are going to happen. And a lot of times they're going to be really scary, or they're going to seem to be really scary, and you're not going to have any frame of reference to base your decisions off of. So when you're thinking about these things and you're like, wow, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to deal with this, just remember, these things can open up tons of opportunities. You can have new knowledge, you can adopt a new sense of identity that you find for yourself that you might not have found before because you didn't know that these new things were even things, and possibilities open up. Don't be like the Russians.
Find your logic.
Find your logic. Don't cut yourself off and kill people for no reason. Think.
That's bad too.
Use your logic and open yourself up to new possibilities. If they hadn't cut themselves off from everyone by killing Mongols, then they might be like really awesome. But no, they are now behind everyone else. So anyway, when you are confronted with new things, possibly scary things, embrace it. Go with it. In fact, improve upon it. Make it your thing. Not a new thing, but your thing. And just attack your problems head on and strive for the highest that you can possibly strive. Rule your life benevolently and with discipline, as the Mongols might have done had the Russians not been jerks, and rock the whole world till it's upside down. This has been Crash Course. We filmed this and wrote this by ourselves with the help of
The internet.
It's magic like our open letterness. Wow! We'd like to thank
The internet?
Victoria's parents for letting me stay 3 hours longer than I was supposed to.
We don't get anything done.
But that's okay, because now we have